be a bunch of pirate-looking Christian men walking around. There should be more eye patches. That's what I want to know. Why am I not seeing those eye patches? When will we start to see eye patches and allow women to dress any way they want, you know, like men do, you know? I just want to know these things. These questions leave me awake up at night. Good morning, YouTube. If you're over on the tubes, welcome in, welcome in. I think while we're waiting for people, I might play one of my songs. You guys, I am going to be on Mama Bash's show pretty soon. If you don't know about it, she has what's called a station head. Now, station head is an app you can download, and they have, like, you know, they're like stations, like radio stations, but they have interviews with, how can I get my, am I doing it wrong? You know, like, you know the old VH1 where they would talk to an artist while you listen to their music? She does a show like that for people in the deconstruction community. And so she's had Thinker on. She's going to have me on. My album came out recently. It's still being released at a lot of places because I'm getting updates telling me, like, oh, it just got released here. It just got released there or whatever. So we're going to do a station head interview on Mama Bash's channel. And I'm really excited about that. So I think I'll play you a song from my album while we wait for people to join us. Let me see. You know, let's listen to A Seat at the Table, Act 1. And then we'll try some other ones. We don't have to do the whole Seat at the Table, but I think Act 1's a good one for right now, what's going on. And if you don't know me, fuck ICE, okay?
Good evening, Crystaljae. Don't be startled, my dear. This story comes in 3 movements, but this one must stand on its own right here. I didn't come for a single song or a truth neatly told. Some lessons need more than one room, more than one table to hold. I've watched you read a room before. The words are even said. You notice who is pouring wine.
Come on out.
And who is breaking bread? A seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? I've worn 1,000 names before. They learned to write them down. Inanna in the dust and clay. I started, sung by crowns. They dressed me up as Aphrodite, made me soft or sweet. But power always shows its teeth before it learns to cheat. So listen now, because this is why I chose to speak to you. You're starting to see how tables work and what they quietly ask you to do. Seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? Come with me now, Berlin. 39. Winter pressed into the street. A Jewish boy named Jacob learns how fear finds a way to eat. His friend is Klaus, the German boy. Grew up just down the lane. turn you in, I swear. I'd never be that one. But one night Jacob sees him there at a table warm and wide, pouring wine for men in brown. A swastika at Klaus's side, not shouting hate, not raising fists, just smiling, passing bread, calling it kindness, calling it peace, calling it nothing said. Klaus doesn't point, Klaus doesn't tell. Klaus thinks his hands are clean, but he pulls out chairs for Nazis and calls it staying seen. And Jacob learns what silence costs before the knock arrives. You don't have to turn them in to help them take their lives. A seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? Watched this lie repeat itself, dressed up as decency. That sitting isn't choosing sides, that kindness cancels complicity. So, if this sounds like history, keep listening anyway, because the table is still set, and it hasn't gone away. A seat at the table.
That is a seat at the table, Act 1. Hey, welcome in, Ken. Welcome in, Evo. Welcome in, Ken. Welcome in, Evo. Welcome in, KJ.
Yep.
Hi, how do I say your name?
Zanes.
Zanes? Okay. Welcome to the show, Zanes. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
I'm 22.
Okay. And are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where is free will for women in the Bible?
Genesis 1:27. Men and women were created in God's image. So by default, both genders have free will.
But women don't. We are allowed to be sold by our fathers into slavery. We are even told that our vow is not our own. Should we vow to even God himself, our husband or our father can take that vow away.
Are you talking about the verses in the Old Testament?
Yes. Is your God not the same today, yesterday, and always?
Yeah, but Jesus came to fulfill a lot of things that were done back then that had to be done in a fallen world rather today.
That has nothing to do with a woman's vow. Jesus didn't say, and now that I am here, a woman gets her vow back. Jesus
Wait,
never
say that again?
addresses the
Sorry.
fact Jesus didn't come and give women their vows back. He didn't undo that. Also, after Jesus, Paul tells us that women are not even allowed to speak in church. So we are still being controlled.
Okay, so vow
Thank you,
like
Tahir.
vow how? Like what do you mean? Vow.
And you're the one who brought us to the Old Testament. You were the one who said that my free will came in Genesis. And then when I told you something to the Old Testament, you were like, that's the Old Testament.
Yeah, but
how does that work that you can quote the Old Testament, but I cannot?
Because I'm quoting a verse that's generally tied to, it's telling you something. Like it's not like that.
So are the verses.
No, yeah,
so
no. I said that
telling
wrong.
you.
Yeah, no, I said that wrong. It's
Yeah,
not
they're
telling you something.
informing you too.
But
And they're never reversed. There's nothing that I've told you that Jesus ever reverses.
I
He
mean,
never tells you
yeah,
that
there's a
it's
lot of things that
reversed.
happen in the Old Testament that we definitely don't do
Right.
nowadays, like murder and things
But
of.
you should, because Jesus said that none of the laws will be done away with until heaven and earth pass away. But I'm not even talking about the laws. I'm talking about God saying that a woman's vow, it doesn't mean anything if a husband or a father wants to take it away. And that means I don't have free will.
Okay, which verse is that?
Let me find out for you. Hang on one second. I might be able to find it on my tabs, but it'll be faster this way. It's in Numbers 30. So let me turn to that. You guys, thank you for joining us this morning. If you would please keep tapping your screen and sharing out the live. And don't forget to send your heart me and collect your points. We're looking at Numbers 30, verses 10 through 12. And if she made a vow in her husband's house, or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard it and said nothing to her, and did not express disapproval to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband nullifies them at the time that he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning her pledge of herself shall not stand. Her husband has nullified them, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to deny herself, her husband may allow to stand, or her husband may nullify. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he validates all her vows or all her pledges by which she is obligated. He has validated them, because he said nothing to her at the time that he heard of them. But if he nullifies them sometime after he has heard of them, then he shall bear her guilt.
And what does it start with? Like, what's the first what's the first sentence it starts with?
Did you want to read it?
Yeah, it's all.
I read it already. If you weren't listening,
It's one chat.
I'm not
It's
here to
it's
do that.
one Google search away. I mean, it's not even saying that women don't have free will.
Yes, it does. It literally says
I
that
just Google
if she
searched
makes
it,
a
the
vow
context.
and
If you'd
her
like me to read
husband
the
doesn't
context
like
of it
it,
and prove the entire thing wrong, I can.
do not talk over me. We're not going to talk over each other because people have closed captioning for the hearing impaired on, and they can't hear either of us when we do that. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, when a woman makes a vow, if somebody else can take it away from her, anybody else, she does not have free will. And if any of the friendlies
It says
want to come
if
up
a
and
woman
join me, you
vows to
can.
the Lord, it literally says she has her own agency.
Where?
The first, which version do you have?
I have the New Revised Standard Edition, and it says, and if she made a vow in her husband's house or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard it and said nothing to her and did not express disapproval to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. So
Numbers
if
30.
she says something and if she says something and her husband doesn't say anything, her vow stands. But if he does say something, it doesn't stand. That means she does not have free will.
Numbers 30. If a woman vows a vow to the Lord. It's literally...
Numbers 30 what? Numbers 30 what?
What do you mean, Numbers 30 what? Numbers 30.
Numbers 31, Numbers 32, Numbers 30. verse 3, which verse in Numbers 30 are you talking about?
It's literally saying she initiates the action in a vow
What
to the Lord.
verse?
Why are you talking over me? Why are you
What
talking over
verse
me?
in chapter 30? Because you haven't answered the
I
question.
did.
What verse
If
in
a
chapter
woman vows a vow to
30?
the Lord, that answers your question. You got destroyed.
Sir, do you know there's different verses in the chapter? Do you understand that? Could you please let me know which verse in chapter 30, sir? That is my question, sir. I can't hear you when you're out of the app. So that's when you told me. I can't hear that, sir. You are on teacup. Nobody can hear you right now. And if you're using AI to get your answers, sir, then I don't know if we can have this conversation. Oh, where did you run to? I think I had that song on here somewhere. But you guys, you ran over that? Really? Wow. 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 Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you can take away the very vow I make, I don't have free will. That was really hot. That was a little embarrassing there, Tiger. What do you mean? I said Numbers 30. Yes, sir. In Numbers 30, there happened to be 16 verses. I just want to know which one. Thank you. I needed a W first thing in the morning. I did need that W. And I wasn't like even, I just wanted to know what freaking verse it was. I know. I know. He was like, I just cooked you. I don't know what he was saying. He was saying something, thinking he won something there. Sir, you didn't do anything. And you still haven't even told me what verse you're in. Numbers 30. But yeah, a woman does not even own her own vows in the Bible. You know? I know what's a verse. A man went and I went by. I don't know, you guys. Like, I don't know. That was wild. A very quick crash out first thing in the morning. Well, I guess we're almost in the afternoon. I did sleep in today. Okay, I have a dramatic little doggy. He's older, okay? And he does things to make me think like that he's dying or something when he's mad at me. I really think he does it on purpose because it's a dramatic old man dog, okay? He since he's gotten older, it's he doesn't always make it outside to go to the restroom. And so after he made like 2 accidents on my bed, I put up like a little baby gate so he can't just jump on my bed because his bed is at the end of my bed. Like I have a trunk there and I have a little doggy bed there and he lays down at the end of my bed. And I used to let him up on my bed all the time until that started happening. And then I was like, okay, I think that you're going to have to stay on your bed now. And the first day that I did that, I swear I thought he was dying. Like he was just like so lethargic and it was so dramatic. And then I let him up on the bed a few times and he was fine. Like tail wagging, back to running around. Like I was like, what are you doing? I was gone for 2 weeks and all night last night, he kept doing this thing like sounding like he was choking and dying. Like it was like all night. And so I couldn't sleep very well. And then first thing this morning, I got up, I got him some breakfast, took him outside, and now he's fine. He's fine. I think he was just mad. I was gone 2 weeks and didn't really tell him where I was going. I didn't email him while I was gone. Yeah, he does. He plays wolf with me. He knows that it drives me crazy and he's so dramatic. And I always am worried, like, because he is older. Oh no, is it now? Is it now? Maybe I'm dramatic. Maybe it's me. Am I the problem? You guys, if you're friendly, you want to come up, say hi. I hate talking to myself, so feel free to come be my co-host today. I have a few of these topics today, but yes, I really want to know. Thank you. I really want to know, where is free will for women in the Bible? As a matter of fact, the more I read the Bible, to realize that none of it is really written to women. He's actually talking to men the whole time. We are talked about as an object or something, right? Like he's not addressing us. He's talking to Ezekiel, or he's talking to, David, or he literally, very specifically, the Bible is talking to men. And so even if, which it doesn't ever give men free will in the Bible, but even if we pretend for a minute and live in their delusion that they do somehow have free will in the Bible, hey, Reckless, if you want to come up, feel free. The guest box is open. I'd love to have you up here. Where is this free will, right? Come up and say hi. We haven't talked in a little while.
How are you doing, my dear?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been, I think, a couple months. I'm doing much better.
That's good. You sound a lot better.
Yeah, therapy wise. Trust but verify is seriously like my lifesaver. I mean, the things that he's done for me, and then building this community and the friends all around, and then people like you. It's so beautiful. It really is.
Well, you sound a lot better. I'm glad to hear that. And I saw that you've got a new little fur baby and stuff, so that's good.
Miss Jezebel.
Yeah.
So somebody said, well, if you're not a believer, why would you name her somebody from the Bible? Because she's sassy and sweet at the same time. So,
Yeah.
And she's the fucking queen around here, so why not?
By the way, why would you have to be just a Christian and name somebody something from the Bible? First of all, what about Jewish people? They also have that portion of the Bible. What about Muslims? They also have that portion of the Bible. Mormons, oh, yep, they do too. Oh, Jehovah's Witness, yes, they do too. So I don't know, what that comment is. That's wild. But also, what did they think Jezebel, if Jezebel wasn't a Hebrew, which according to the story she's not, that name doesn't derive from that area, does it? So they're stupid. Their comments are always stupid.
Yeah.
It's such a stupid thing to say. Good morning, Christina. If you want to come up, feel free to come up.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for Girls Gone Godless to bring out the David's crispy bits. I never knew about that. The foreskin in the Bible thing. Like, the first time I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm deceased. Seriously. Like, it's so funny. I never knew that, a collection of foreskins was, a thing. And so I was like, damn. Yeah, bring that shit out. Like, Girls Gone Godless is my favorite people on the planet.
They're amazing. They have a great podcast. Everybody should be listening to it. They're amazing. Good morning, Mama Bash. How are you?
Good morning, Crystal. I'm doing well. I just got back from my physical therapy, and I'm making good
How's it
progress.
going?
I'm making good
Oh, I'm
progress.
really
They say
glad.
I should come out of the sling by the 23rd.
I had rotator cuff surgery in March. And so, just do your physical therapy and you'll do great. I sleep so much better now. I don't know about you, but for me, it was like trying to it just would sometimes really hurt at night when I was trying to sleep, or I couldn't lay right, without
Yeah, that's the
bothering
worst
it.
part, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Crystal,
Because I didn't notice it much time.
Oh, that's all. Sorry. I was going to ask you.
That's okay.
So my son has been having nightmares of burning in hell and shit like that. And this has been quite the fucking thing in our house. I know with this administration, we're not going to get anywhere with writing legislation about this because Japan has made it illegal to teach children the fear of hell. And I would love to do some kind of legislation because my inbox is absolutely full of parents and people that have dealt with the fear of hell nightmares and shit like that. And I really think that something needs to be done. And I know that right now with the administration and all this shit, I don't want to talk politics. I know that's probably not part of the thing, but it's also important to know that, you know, these things are fucking happening. And
Yeah, and let me make this statement very clear for anybody listening. Everything is political, so we can't not talk politics. When we talk, it's political. So go right ahead.
okay. And so I wanted to start like writing some kind of legislation to start doing something. I don't know how to go about it. I was going to message you, but I knew you were like with your little grandbaby. I'm so excited for you. And I wanted you to spend time with your family. And now that you're back, I was going to message you to find out if you knew how to kind of start that process.
I think the best way to start that process is to reach out to one of your representatives in your area and talk to them about how important it is. Send them, forward them some of the letters and things that you've received showing that parents, that their constituents, that their people are worried about this and that we don't find it to be healthy for children. But I think that for your son, though, it's more important to worry like about in your house too first. And so when you tell me that your son is having these nightmares, I think it's really important that you talk to your son about where the idea of hell came from. It didn't actually, like, the way we see hell today was not the way they saw hell in the Bible. Jewish people do not believe in that. And when you read about the history, and I'll tell you somebody to reach out to is Nick Graves. Nick Graves can talk to you a lot about the history of hell and why we think of it the way we do today. And once people realize it's not even the way it was originally taught, it wasn't. Earth Sanctuary too. Okay, Earth Sanctuary might have resources of how you reach out to your representatives, I think is what Liz is saying. But
Awesome.
Nick can talk to you about the origins of hell and the way we teach it now. And what it's important that your son knows that that's all from stories. That's not even what was originally taught. Nobody thought that. And that's not going to happen to anybody. And you need to reassure them that that's not happening to anybody. Nobody is going to go through that.
Right.
We will probably go back to where we were before we were born and ask him, do you remember before you were born? Do you have painful memories? Of course you don't. You have no memories before you were born, and it was probably very peaceful wherever that was, and that's why you have no memories. If it was horrible, you would probably remember the torment and the pain, but it wasn't.
Right.
So that's probably where we go back to, someplace, something, nothing. You know, I don't like to say nothing because that's scary to other people, you know, but just where we were before we were born.
Yep. And it's just, hopefully, because I know I've heard that he'll grow out of it, which I'm glad that, you know, eventually, because he's 9 now. So there's a lot of
But I think that a lot of times just talking to them too and letting them know that then turn off the comments. Turn off the comments for what?
Oh, I think she's trolling out in the comments. This Steph Kerr Christ. She's got an issue.
Okay. Well, you can come up, Steph, if you want. I just want to know where free will is for women in the Bible. That's what we're talking about today. But, well, Reckless, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to see you. And I'm going to go ahead and drop you.
Yes, please do. I'm going to go to the grocery store and grab some groceries.
All right.
Good seeing you.
Have a great day. Thanks for being here. W in the chat for Reckless Religion. You guys, she goes live too. Make sure you check her out. And hopefully we'll get some Christians or believers to come up and talk to us this morning. But I did want to talk about this. I want to know where free will is for women because I just do not see it. I was talking, I don't know if you were in here when the guy crashed out a little while ago on me. Bash But I was bringing up the verses that talk about how a husband can nullify a woman, his wife's vow. And if a husband can nullify my vow, how do I have free will? You know? Doesn't seem like I do. Thank you, Reckless, for the gift. I appreciate it. Ah, Twitch, that was very sweet, and I'm sorry I didn't get very good moms when I was. I had two moms, and neither one of them were very good. So I think that I tried to be much better than what I was given. I don't know. I was like, yeah, they weren't very nice. One abandoned me when I was 3, and then the other one abandoned me emotionally my entire life. So, yeah, I wanted to be different than those two women, and hopefully I think I succeeded in being a lot more nurturing, loving, and compassionate with my children. I seem to have a very good relationship with them, so I think I did something right. I'm a firm believer that if you have family members that are mistreating you, I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whoever, I believe in going no contact. I know some don't, but I do.
Wait, looks like.
Good morning, The Chosen. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, 19.
Okay. And are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
The God of Israel, the one true God.
Okay. And so do you believe in Jesus?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you Jewish?
Yeah. Jewish.
Oh, okay. So where in the Jewish Bible do women have free will?
Well, okay, so again, it's how you define free will. Do you mean by free will that God does not have a hand in anything? Because then I would say no. If you mean by free will the right for a person to make a decision when being tempted, I would say yes. I mean, in biblical stories, we see this immediately with Genesis, with Chava, where she chose to eat from the tree after being tempted by the Nachash, the snake. So the choice is always there.
But not for women, because
no, for Chava, she's a girl.
Not for women.
She's a girl.
And, excuse me, please stop doing that. I am talking, and I let you speak, so please let me speak, okay? Not for women. We do not have it. According to Numbers 30, we're going to go to Numbers 30, 10, and we'll read on to the end of that paragraph, 10 through 15, I believe it is. That women can have their own vows, even to the Lord, nullified by their husbands. And if my vow, even to God, can be nullified by my husband, then I don't have free will. My husband has control over me. So let me read that to you. Excuse me. I'm going to read it still. This isn't your show, okay?
I know the passage,
so that the audience... I'm not doing this today with you misogynists, okay? Not
doing it. That's crazy.
I know you don't want me to read it because you don't want other people to hear it, because you do know what it says. You know it says that I do not get to have my own vow, that a man controls my vow. And if a man is controlling my vow, I do not have free will. Thank you, Otter. Absolutely 100% proving my point. That is crazy. Two men have come up here and crashed out on this already. I think I've hit a nerve.
I think you have, Crystal. I think you've stirred up something.
Because, like I was reading this one day, Mama Bash, and I started realizing this book, except for maybe a few verses, is all written to men. It's not written to us. We are just props in the story.
Right.
Which book is written to me? I mean, all of these were things that they were telling men to do. Like, it doesn't say women don't sleep with your husband's brother. It says men. It says, hey, guys, don't sleep with your father's wife or whatever. Like, not once is there anything to me to tell me, you know. It tells men what to do with me if I do sleep with somebody else, but it doesn't say, you know, this is to you,
Right.
women, now, except for very few verses like, shut up, don't talk.
Absolutely.
Steph, you're more than welcome to come up. I'd love to hear about that verse. Because the verses that I've read, Jesus says that none of this is going to be done away with until heaven and earth pass away. And even after Jesus came, Paul, who you guys love so much, says, women, shut up. Don't talk in church. I don't let you do that. And if a man is telling me what I can or cannot do, I do not have free will. Hey, the rabbi's here. Maybe he can come up and talk to me about numbers. Hey, Bert, how are you?
Hey, Bert.
He's probably busy. Here's Liz. Good morning, Liz.
Good afternoon, Crystal.
Oh, yes, I guess it's almost afternoon.
Oh, it is. It's 1:40 for me.
It's still 11:40 here, okay? Steph, if Paul is telling me that I can't do something, I don't have free will. Okay, Pumpkin? Anytime you try to control what I do, you're taking away my free will. And if Paul is saying that in the authority of the Lord, your God, that he's taken away my free will. You can pretend like you have free will, but Steph, nothing in this Bible gives women free will. It actually doesn't give anybody free will, but we're going to pretend that men have free will for just a minute. The Bible says everything is predestined. But we'll pretend for a minute that some people have free will. Women don't. Women can be sold by their fathers. Women have to marry their grapists. Women don't even own their own vow. So what's new, Liz?
Laundry. Gotta love it. I actually came up to ask Rabbi Bert a question after you're done speaking to him.
Oh, go ahead and ask him, and then I'll tell him what the men are crashing out about this morning. Bert, are you with us?
He said in the comments
back?
A couple of minutes.
Okay.
So I think he's still listening. I had a question because I have had previous talks with Nick, and he had talks with Rabbi Hannah, and I have questions around the Jewish perspective of free will, because from what Nick and I understood, Rabbi Hannah, and maybe this is a Sephardic belief specifically, does believe that there is free will given in the Bible. And, you know, I know that this is a topic that we discuss all the time, and most atheists don't see that in the Bible. So I'm just curious from that perspective where that is, or how is that interpreted?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I would guess I would wonder what was meant by free will, because I feel like most people treat free will and free choice as interchangeable, even though I think that there are important distinctions. I think that like certainly like you can look to evidence of like God hardening Pharaoh's heart, right? That restricts Pharaoh's free will. I think that, or even free choice for that matter. And I think that you can see elements of free choice. Like I think of the Cain and Abel story, like God is laying out saying like, look, you have a choice here. You can do what's right, or you can become the like the teacher of like sin crouches at your door. so you can become its master. Like that to me that reads as like you have the choice of whether like how you're going to respond in any given situation. So I don't. I mean, I also like. I mean, the question is like univocality and like clearly those are different authors and different priorities. So does Judaism have a stance on free will? My guess is probably something closer to free choice. Um, Certainly not determinism. I would say that Judaism is pretty anti-determinism. Um, yeah, that's my. I
No,
don't know if that's helpful.
that makes sense. It's been quite a while since that conversation, and so I haven't had the opportunity to ask Rabbi Hannah about it to see like was it free choice, and because I got the information secondhand from Nick, listening to a live, so I'm not sure what exactly was discussed, and I just never got the opportunity. So I saw one today and just
Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, thank you.
my pleasure.
Well, Bert, today my topic is where's free will for women in the Bible? Because as I was writing these anti-sermons, first of all, I'm only at Zilpah. Okay, that's where I'm at with the women in the Bible. And their stories become so repetitive, it's really hard to write a whole new sermon because it's like, yeah, this was another woman who was given away or had to screw a guy to further the lineage, whatever, it's just one story after another about, oh, she was barren. Oh, yeah, she had a baby, But in reading it, I realized that these stories were to men and that women were the props in the stories and that the stories are really to men. And then the more I looked at it, the women have no free will. They don't. They can be sold by their fathers. And then when I look at things like in Numbers 30, where it says that the very vow I give can be taken away by my husband, it tells me very clearly I don't have free will. So what do you think of in Numbers 30 where it says, and if she made a vow in her husband's house or bound
Mm,
herself by a pledge with an oath,
mhm.
and her husband heard it and said nothing to her and did not express disapproval to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband nullifies them at the time that he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows or concerning her pledge of herself shall not stand. Her husband has nullified them, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to deny herself or her husband may allow to stand, or her husband may nullify. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he validates all her vows or all her pledges by which she is obligated. He has validated them because he said nothing to her at the time that he heard of them. But if he nullifies them sometime after he has heard of them, then he shall bear her guilt.
He gave her the ba, 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 ba.
But I have had two Christian men come up and crash out because I brought that up
Well, I
this
think
morning already.
yeah, I think that well, first of all, it's not their fault. It's not their book. We can't really hold them accountable for.
Oh, one of them was Jewish.
Oh,
One was Jewish. So it
unfortunate.
was
Yeah,
his book.
yeah. I think that men are just inherently soft and defensive, and we've been told our whole lives that we're special. You know,
Yeah.
so hearing anything to the contrary is an affront to our worldview. You know, and I say that tongue in cheek, but I also mean it really seriously. That men are emotionally unstable and weak. Yeah, and not as a hateful thing, just as a self-reflective. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like confrontation of myself. It makes me uncomfortable. You know?
Yeah. It was funny because with the first Christian, I said, hey, where is free will for women in the Bible? And then he tried to say that it's in Genesis where God created man and woman in his image, and that right there gave us free will. And I said, okay, but let's go to Numbers 30:10. And I read that to him. He goes, oh, that's in the Old Testament. So it's Genesis.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know where they were located. What?
I think there are certainly moments of agency for women, but often in relationship to their relation to men, if not always. Like like the Bible
Yeah.
does not pass the Bechdel test.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like the daughters of Zelophehad, a pretty progressive
Mm-hmm.
text for its time, but still only in response to the fact that they didn't have any older brothers. Sarah
Right.
Sarah asking Hagar to take on the responsibility of having a baby, well, only in this context of like needing to make babies in the first place, or like that being the value that
Right.
needing to be made. I'm thinking,
And
actually,
when Zilpah has her babies for Leah, Zilpah doesn't even get to name them. Leah
mm,
does. And Zilpah was a wife. She was a wife just for breeding's sake, but she was a wife.
yep. And I was also thinking, like, maybe the most sort of, um, well, then, like, the agency for Tamar and Judah, but this is only because Judah was withholding sons from her for the levirate marriage prospect. Um,
Yeah.
Now, Ruth certainly demonstrates agency, um, but that's because of her love of Naomi. I think that might be the most sort of in like the one that most closely passes the Bechdel test. Because it's not there's no men to speak of in the story to begin with. Like meaning they're all unalive. Um, I'm also thinking like Devorah the prophetess, um, like who sits on like she's like the chief over Israel. Like that might be another example of actual agency. Um, but then Barak is still involved, um, and Sisera and Yael. Anyway, I'm just trying to think of trying to be as broad sweeping as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think, though, that the laws themselves tell us that we don't have agency. And because of that, women, especially Christian women, have been so ready to submit to men and allow them to be in control, not only in our homes but in politics. They women themselves don't understand that women can lead. They can lead our cities, they can lead our counties, they can lead our states and our countries. And because of this stupid fucking Bible saying that women are to submit to men, literally women are some of the biggest misogynists. And it's harmful.
I think that just was demonstrated by that person who just crashed out in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, you guys are so angry while we were laughing, by the way, and having a very nice conversation. I thought it's so funny that they see this as anger. Like, obviously she's not watched the show very much, or she'll know that this is not how I sound when I'm angry. She would know the difference.
Wild.
But yeah,
Interesting
it is
that there's so many Christians, like that say that, we're so angry and we have all this resentment and et cetera, et cetera. But we can have a damn Jewish rabbi up here and
right.
have a conversation, and somehow they don't say that to us. It's almost like there's this other thing that might actually be affecting it. Somebody else's ego potentially, because I, have conversations with Rabbi Bert and we're cool. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. It is really weird. It's so weird. It is projection, Tahir. I think it's definitely projection. I do have some other backgrounds, but if you are a believer, if you're not a believer, go find a believer. Go drag one in here.
I'm curious what the conversation with the Jewish person was like.
Okay, here's how that one went. He said, first of all, okay, you know how sometimes when we're talking, like, you will just use words for Genesis and God that everybody can understand. But other times when you're talking to another Jewish person, you will say like Hashem or something like that.
Hmm.
So he
Sure.
was using all the Jewish lingo to make it so like that he would think that I didn't really know what he was saying. But actually I've been around you and Rabbi enough that I was like, I know what he's saying. Like, so he started with like, in Genesis, God says blah 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 blah, or whatever. And I said, he again started in Genesis, basically saying that is where we have free will. And so I went to Numbers and I said, well, I want to talk about this first here in Numbers. And he kept talking over me. And I said, just a minute, I want to go to Numbers 30:10. And he goes, I know what it says. And I said, okay, but you're
Please.
not the host. Could you just stop, And he was like, yeah, but I already know what it says. And I said, I want to read this for everybody else. And finally I said, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not going to have you keep talking over me. And I dropped him. I'm not. And I told him, I'm not doing that with you misogynists this morning. It's absolutely so rude.
Ah, man, it's frustrating. Sorry to hear that.
Was it just me though? I didn't really get a good look at his profile picture. I swore that it was a picture of Jesus.
Yeah, see, it said something. I do not really know if he was Jewish or a Messianic Jew because
Yes,
his
that's
name
what I'm
was
saying.
something weird.
You also asked him though if he believed that Jesus. What did you ask him if
Oh
Jesus
yeah, I
was
did. I said, "Is Jesus your Lord or your Messiah or something?" And he said no. Then that he was Jewish, but his name was called the Jewish something. I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah, I didn't get a good look.
I'll have to look at it later.
Yeah,
I'll have
send it.
to
I'd
look
be
at the
so
replay later.
curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. His attitude was very Christian-like. Just like every Christian that crashes out on me.
Very Philbro Christian like specifically.
What was it?
Philbros Christian specific.
You know the way they talk over you and
Yeah,
yeah,
like
like
steamrolling. You're saying that that's what he was doing?
yeah.
Yeah. Heard.
And I know that they hate it when you read the word, and that's wild to me because as a Christian, I would have loved that. As a Christian, I believed, you guys, Christians, we believed weird stuff, okay? And I know that Mama Bash will agree with me on this. I believed every time the Bible was read, like especially out loud, that somehow, somewhere it magically did something to somebody. Like it might not be me, but somebody heard that word and their life was changed because the Bible said that my word will not go out void, right, Mama Bash?
That's right. Your word will not return void.
So some kind of magic hocus pocus was
keep
happening.
sending it out.
And so I would have let me read that. I would have been like, yes, read the Bible. It's going to magically do something out there if she reads that Bible verse,
Crystal just
Absolutely.
every day.
What?
You're just out here saving lives every day, reading that Bible.
Every day. Every day. Me and Joel reads Bible. I love it when they go, say to Joel, like, well, obviously you haven't read the Bible. Dude, that's my name. I read Bible.
But, I feel like maybe that's some kind of, again, projection because they know that they're spouting all sorts of lies all the time. So clearly, Joel is doing the same. He doesn't read that damn Bible.
Oh, that's probably it, right?
I love commenting on Joel's Bible posts.
Are you starting shit over there?
Me? Oh yeah, all the time.
I gotta look.
Okay, we'll try this one. I
Mm,
kind of want to know about this too.
what does that mean? One-eyed Christian man?
Because Jesus said, if something causes you to lust, you should gouge out your eye. And every time
That's
I
great.
talk to a Christian man, he tells me that his biggest issue with sin is lust. Well, if it is, how come you haven't gouged out your eye yet, friend? Jesus told
It's a
you to. And
spiritual gouging.
instead, you go around and tell women to cover up. Jesus never told you to do that. Jesus did not tell you to go tell a woman to cover up because it's causing you to lust, sir. He said you should look like a pirate. Now go get yourself an eye patch and gouge that eye out, sir.
Go get a parrot.
It's a spiritual
Go
gouging.
get a parrot.
That's what they're going to
Well,
say,
you better
Rabbi.
spiritually. Okay, and the woman should just start spiritually covering up.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry,
Yes.
but maybe women need to just spiritually cover up, sir. If you are spiritually gouging out your eye, I have spiritually covered up.
Well, don't Christian women say that they're covered with something? I wasn't Christian. I don't know how this works. But
You're covered in the blood of the lamb, I
Hey,
guess.
there you go. See, isn't that the same thing? So really, yeah, they're covered. They're good. It's the heathens like us.
Really, soldier? I know Christians are always quoting the Bible without reading it, soldier. I know it's weird. They should read it more.
Weird.
I know, because I do. You know, I read it, and I'm not even a believer, soldier. So
Unless
it's
you're
funny
talking
how
about-
Christians will say stuff like that in the chat, then they'll come up here and they won't even have a Bible. It cracks me up.
Right.
It's like you just sat there and said that we don't read our Bible and you don't even have one.
I mean, if you
Soldier has Soldier read the Bible?
oh, there's no
I
way.
don't think so.
Soldier, do you want to have a conversation with people who have read the Bible?
It's just a
Just come up,
generalization.
soldier.
Most Christians don't read the Bible. And no, you didn't say that it was Crystal. I'm guessing you're saying it was me because I didn't know the, covered by the blood. It was a joke, but also I'm a lifelong atheist, never believed in the Bible, and I own 10 or so. I don't know, and have read them. You can ask actually the people up here, the people in chat. I do debates with these guys as well on panels sometimes, and I mean I can quote stuff too, just like a Christian can. Usually though, it's interesting the difference between like what Christians quote and what atheists quote. The word cherry picking comes up a lot, but it seems that it does go both ways, where the Christians only know really, really positive things, and atheists like to go to the stuff that's not so good. That kind of points out
I just realized my typo. It's supposed to say one-eyed Christian men, but I accidentally did a typo there. But you guys get what I'm saying. Why aren't they walking around with a pirate patch? That's all I want to know.
You
Good
just
morning.
need a comma.
But that's what I mean. Why aren't y'all out there gouging out your eyes? Why are you telling women to cover up more? That's not what your Bible says, not what it teaches. But yeah, I have quite a few questions. When I listen to like Mama Bash and Thinker and I don't know, Joel and Mezzo and stuff, when they're talking to Christians, I start having more questions. I'm like, wait, what about this? And so that's why I thought about the free will with women. Like, come on now. We talk about all the time. Women have no agency in the Bible. If I don't have agency, I don't have free will. It's very simple. You cannot have free will if you have no agency. And
That is
then
true.
I started thinking, why aren't there more men? Also, like, I mean, literally, like, because these men act like they are so devout to this God and they'll take everything else very literal. Like, I don't know, like, there are Christian men out there who are like, I do not eat shrimp. I do not wear mixed fabrics. Okay, do you gouge out your eye when you lust? Or do you ask your wife to cover up? How come you're not taking it that far? Just want to know.
I had a guy
And
on
just
my
see them
panel, Crystal.
tell their wives. Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I had a guy on my panel that said that he would have cheated on his wife if he wasn't a Christian.
Wow.
He was like, I've been married to my wife and I love her. But, if I wasn't a Christian man, I would be out here sleeping around with all these women. I was like, dude, do you realize what you're saying? Isn't that horrible? And he thought that
really
was like,
horrible.
he thought he was bragging about how much he loved his
Yeah.
wife and how good of a Christian he was. I didn't think that was good at all. Yeah. It's crazy.
When the way they talk about marriage all the time, they make it seem like it's this really hard effort that you have to put in to not cheating. Okay, like I can't tell you how many Christians talk like that because things are really bad or whatever in the relationship. Yeah, after 30 years, there's been a few times where we both have wanted to call it quits. We didn't because we were like, actually we know this too will pass, whatever we're going through right now. But it was never, I want to cheat on you. Like, because
Right.
that, I don't know, like I'm monogamous. Why would I do that? I don't know why they act like it's this overwhelming thing. Can Doug and I both look at each other and say we never looked at another person and thought, wow, that person's really attractive? Of course not. There's attractive
Right.
people on the earth. That would be ridiculous. I don't care. When I was younger, I probably cared because Christianity made you think made you think so many weird things as a wife, like, I'm sorry, I really did. Like, you just think that you have to be like the prettiest, most perfect little wife. If you're not, you're going to cause your husband to like cheat. What? It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's a
is
weird thought pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear,
People, go ahead, Liz.
I was just going to say, from somebody who is not monogamous, I'm a polyamorous person, but I'm with somebody who is monogamous, and I'm marrying that person, and I'm fine with that, and I will be monogamous. Like, I have that self-control.
Right.
It has nothing to do with, like, you just want to sleep around. It's a mindset of, like, I don't see that, it's necessarily fair to that person to take on all the responsibilities 100% of the time for, a relationship. But if that is what they want to do, that's fine. And I'm fine with doing it either way. But it has nothing to do with
Exactly. And there are so many other boundaries that are in your marriage that have nothing to do with the sexual aspect of it. And if you love somebody, you just respect each other's boundaries in general. And I feel that these people don't understand boundaries at all. And that's why they're like, oh, I would totally cheat. Hey, Orion, I would totally do that. Or you probably totally push everybody's boundaries. You probably do not give a shit about any boundaries in general. And that's really the issue,
I mean,
because God didn't.
About this all the time. They tell on themselves, right? Mm-hmm. If you are somebody who needs a book to tell you that unaliving somebody is not a good thing, and if you didn't have that, you would be out here doing it, then you're just a shitty person. Like, that's all it is.
Right.
Just say what you want to say.
Exactly. Like that guy earlier, I just really wanted to say to him, it was really funny because he was telling me that in Numbers it says something, right? And I said, Numbers what? He goes, Numbers 30. And I go, I know, Numbers 30 what? And he got really mad, goes, ma'am, I just told you. And I go, no, sir, like, there's verses in there, right? Like, can you tell me Numbers 30 what? And finally I just felt like saying, just say you don't know how to read the Bible. Just say that, okay? Because like you haven't told me. I've asked you for like 15 times to tell me what verse now, and you don't even know what I mean by that. Just say you haven't read the Bible. You don't know
No.
how.
Instead, he
Just
said,
say
haha,
that.
I beat you and ran.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
That was so ridiculous. Oh my God. Yes, I do believe that many of them would grape. I think that I don't know. It's wild to me that I think it was Lords or somebody this morning. Somebody was saying like, oh no, it was Mac Lester. A Christian said like Mac said that grape was always bad. It's objectively wrong to do. And the Christian said, you can't say that. And Mac said, yes, I can. Like I just did. What do you mean I can't say it? I hear that so many times because they think that they have objective morality through God. And because we don't have objective morality through their God, we can't say something is objectively bad. Yes, I can. I most certainly can. First of all, you would have to prove your God before you could say that your God is the grounding for your objective morals. Without proving that there is a God in the first place, you can't tell me that your morals are objective. But on top of it, I could say something is objectively bad because I can objectively see the harm it does. That's so ridiculous.
Also, as soon as they introduce a stance, which would be God's stance, then it is subjective.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
know the meaning of subjective.
It's those definitions that they always come up with new definitions for words. I also didn't realize how much we did that.
I've always asked, and I've never gotten the answer as to where the definitions of these words are in the Bible. Like, is there a version, like, where in the back it's like, hey, just so you know, this is what these words mean? Like, how do we come up with different definitions out of nowhere? Because when I look it up, that's not what it's.
They're written on your heart.
That's the problem, is I don't have one. Fuck.
Oh, that would be a problem. You guys, thank you for the 14,000 likes. Thank you for all the shares and the heart me's and the gifts. I really appreciate it. If you can keep tapping the screen, sharing out the live. If you're a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible, I want to talk today about why men, Christian men specifically, aren't walking around with just one eye. I have so many Christian men tell me that their number one issue in their life is lust. And Jesus said, if your eyes cause you to lust, then to gouge them out. And I just don't really understand why they tell women to cover up instead of cutting out their eye. Like, go have that thing surgically removed. It should be under your insurance since you're pushing your God in all aspects of our lives. Don't they cover things like that now? I don't know. I think they should. But anyway, if we don't get somebody up, I will change it. They probably don't like this topic, and I have more.
I am going to drop down to clear up the panel. Hopefully that will help. But I will be in and out. And if I feel like coming back up, I'll let you know. But good to see you.
Okay, sounds good. Good to see you too. I'm so glad you guys are back around now. I've missed you.
I missed you too, and I'm so sorry. Like, Rabbi Bert, I love you so much, and I've missed you too. And
Great
I mean,
to see you.
is just you are the most calming like voice in this community. I swear, like I could listen to you all day.
He is, huh?
Anyway, y'all.
By the way, Bye, Liz. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, Liz is one of the admin over on the Deconstruction Junction Discord server. And if you haven't joined this server, the link is in my bio. We also have a channel in there now for recovering from religion. So if you are deconstructing, you're having a little bit of a hard time, we know it can be difficult. Make sure you check out that channel. There's volunteers available pretty much 24/7 in that channel. So it's a really great place to access. They have support groups for the different various communities that are recovering from religion. And so it's a really great resource, if you will. I am going to start doing non-believers Bible study on Thursday mornings, hoping that maybe Bert can join us a little bit more often. It's hard for him to have a set schedule, but I'm going to start them this week on Thursday mornings instead of Wednesday mornings.
Thank you. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm like,
did you? That's okay. Don't feel bad.
yeah, hopefully
Ghost
Thursdays will
says,
be more clear.
I hope so. I really hope so, because I love it when you're there. I love the discussions that you and I get into. I think I have really good questions for you when we're reading through, and I think people get a little bit deeper dive into the stories that we're reading and stuff when you're there. And I appreciate it. Ghost says, I don't think lust is a problem since women no longer exist. I'm not seeing any here anyway. Okay. Is that what Jesus taught you to do? Did you think that you would just come in and insult people and that's the love of Jesus? Is that how Jesus told you to act? Is that really? I don't think that that's what Jesus told you to do. But to me, what I'm hearing is a little tiny man who has a little tiny insecure self-esteem, and he's too scared to talk to women. That's what I hear. I know, Randy. They always show their true colors. Hey, Devil's Public Defender, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Ken, good to see you. Welcome in. I will be live here for about another hour, 45 minutes. If you are a believer of the God of the Bible, come on up. The guest box is open. I want to talk today about where is free will for women in the Bible. I personally don't believe that free will exists in the Bible for anybody, but I'm going to give it to you today that men have it. I don't see that women have it. I don't believe that if you have no agency, I don't think you have free will either. And women do not appear to have any agency in the Bible. So that's what I'm talking about today. Hey, Everlasting, how are you today? You're not Jesus Christ. Everyone deserves a second chance. I'm not sure what that has to do with the topic, but cool. Very cool. I'm glad you think people deserve second chances. Well, I'm going to play one of my songs for you while we have a little downtime. You guys, if you haven't gone to listen to my album on your streaming services, you should do so. It is called Ex Parte, and it is my deconstruction album. And many of you know some of my songs. So if you have a song of mine that you like, I can guarantee it's probably on that album, unless it's the Seat at the Table, because the Seat at the Table is a separate album. But we're going to listen to You Saw It. This is a song I wrote about Hagar. Hagar is the only person in the Bible who names God. As a Christian, you're taught that when she names him the God who sees, that was because God saw her and met her where she was at. But God also sent her back to her abusers. And as an atheist now, I see that song in a different light. And this is my song called You Saw It. One of my favorite songs now.
Men didn't have the nerve to name you, not with truth, not with blood on their hands. They spoke around you, over you, safe behind their power and plans. They praised what you did for them. They trembled as you gave your name. They wouldn't dare think to name you. No, that would be my claim to fame. I didn't bow when you found me alone. No one else to hear what I'd say. You didn't offer a name for me to whisper, so I named you from my view of you that day. You didn't offer me a covenant, no altar, no future, no claim. What I had was a body for trading, and the courage to give you a name. The God who sees, nothing can hide from you. The God who sees, nothing outside your view. You saw it, 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 you saw it. The story's been told for generations, passed along from voice to ear.
Oops, sorry.
I called you the God who sees, but it's not how it appears. Like a game of telephone, it traveled, every telling changed the view. Each preaching made it softer, each repeat a little more askew. You saw it, you saw it. Far from my home, isolated, afraid, a body alone in a borrowed land. You saw me doing what I had to do, trying to obey their every command. You saw the cruelty, saw it plain, saw it hand me over like a toy. You saw what was taken again and again. You saw my body and heart destroyed. I ran when escape came into view. Believe distance might set me free, but you found me there in the wilderness and sent me back to what you could see. I named you the God who sees. They heard it as something kind. They said you saw my heart, said it was part of your design. It was never meant to compliment. I named you the God who sees. It was always an indictment. You see it all and do nothing. You see the children, you see their pain, their hunger, their bruises, their abuse. You see the men who harm them while claiming they worship you. You see global wars, you see the suffering, you see it all from your throne and do nothing. You saw it, 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 you saw it. I didn't name you by accident. I didn't kneel, I didn't plead. I gave you a name that fit. I named you the God who sees. You saw it, 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 you are the God who sees. You saw it, you saw it, you saw it.
After I wrote that song, I wanted to know, like, am I the only person who ever really like thought that this is what she meant by when she said the God who sees? And no, there are actually a lot of feminists who also felt that was an indictment and not a compliment. And it was kind of cool learning that there were I wrote the lyrics, Lauren. I used Suno to write the music and do the vocals. But yeah, I wrote the lyrics to that song.
We got to get you that Torah woman's commentary. I feel like it'd be great to have you in conversation with that too.
Oh, I would love to. That would be
Yeah.
really cool. Only
I
God's
was gonna
will for
say,
women to be protected. Go ahead. I was
well,
reading that comment. There's
yeah.
there's nowhere there's free will for women in the Bible. Only God's will for women to be protected and respected. Okay, whatever. All right, go ahead.
Um, oh, we had like a joke in rabbinical school, like "you saw me see you." Like that's like a huge thing that comes up all the time. Like God says it, and the people say it, and like clearly Hagar is saying it to God. Like you can't, don't try and pull a fast one. Like you saw me see you.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. When I as a Christian, I think we've talked about how we are, I don't know, like as Christians we're taught that Sarah is like such a good woman in that story and that Hagar is bad, but then when I read it I'm like, she didn't do anything bad. She never does anything bad. She says what she's told. The only thing, yeah, but she ran away. Yeah, she was being abused. What are you talking about? Why shouldn't she run away? She was being abused. And then for God to just send her back, not even her God, by the way. She didn't worship that God. And I think it says a lot that she was brave enough to name that God. If you would like to have a conversation, then the guest box is open. Come on up and I'd love to talk to you. I don't care if you're a believer, non-believer. Guest box is open. Come on up, talk to us. What's on your mind this morning? I'm talking today about free will for women in the Bible. It's just non-existent. A woman does not have agency. And so I'm kind of tired of hearing from Christian men mostly coming up here and saying we all have free will. We all have the right to choose because we don't. Clearly, we don't. Good morning, Randy. How
Hi,
are
Crystal.
you?
Good. Hey, I didn't realize I'm not as I didn't grow up a religious person, so I everything I learn in the Bible is more recent and it's more from the atheist perspective. But I never knew it was that blatant in the 10th commandment that women are listed as part of like the owned property, and they're not even listed first. They're listed above or below house, but above like oxes and and other like
Yeah.
servants and things like that, like, but it's below house. And I never realized that until today, so a little light bulb went off my head. Like, I just don't get how women who are Christians don't look at that and go, that's wrong. Like, this is so wrong. I just don't get it.
You know, the whole time, well, first of all, they do not point that out to us, okay? So we don't even really think that, okay? We gloss over that.
Yeah.
Like everything is just there's a hand wave over it. Like, ooh, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Okay. So in reading the Ten Commandments, a lot of times they're paraphrased and put up on a wall in the church. So it'll sound more like "Don't steal, don't lie," and that's not what those words actually say. Like it doesn't say "Don't lie." That Bible does not say "Do not lie." The God is a God of deception, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He rewards people who have lied in the Bible. Hey, Schley. So one, it's often very loosely translated for us, and we learn them that way, and we just accept the bullshit. There's a lot of apologetics that are pushed on us, especially in the church, and most Christians, whether they will admit it or not, and I know that a lot of us don't, because when I was a Christian, I know that I said things like I read this whole Bible from beginning to end. But if I really think of it, I never sat down and read the whole Bible from page 1 to the end of Revelation. I read books sometimes, or we did Bible studies on this, that, and I think I just assumed that I had like read the whole Bible, or lied to myself. I don't know, but I know I said that all the time, and I think a lot of them do, and I think that they really get it from their Sunday morning pastor.
Yeah.
You know, they bring their little Bible, he says something, and they think they've read the Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just not the same. But now when I read it, I'm like, wait a minute, this Bible is written to men. Like it is almost entirely written to men. They're not talking to me. In this Bible, I am a prop.
Yeah, no, I never really got that. And just actually from watching your lives, I've been really looking back at it, kind of rereading it, going, wow, you're right. There's nothing written for women. It's more about how to treat women, and it's never really treat them that well, you know? It's
No, no, it's not.
and definitely not
It's
in the
not.
Old Testament is it ever anything about respect or honor. It's really about like items, property, and it's really annoying. So
How much I'm worth? I'm worth 50 shekels. You know,
Right.
if you grate me. I'm only 30 if you buy me, though. You know, so there's that.
with inflation, you got to be at least a couple hundred shekels by now.
Maybe,
It's not
maybe.
even funny. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you for your lives. I'm learning from you.
Well, thank you, Randy. I appreciate it. You guys pick W in the chat for Randy. He's such a huge supporter of our community, and I love being in chat with them. Always makes my day when we're hanging out together.
Take care.
Have a good day. Bye. Yeah, it's like $13 now. Just so you guys know, a shekel, just in case you ever want to figure this out, because I did want to figure this stuff out. So shekel was a specific weight, okay? And if you Google it, you can find out what the weight is. I forget how many grams or whatever it is, okay? And that is why there is a shekel, when a temple, is it a temple shekel? Is that what it's called, Rabbi? Where there's
Yeah.
one that what they could calibrate to. Okay, temple
hmm
shekel. Okay, that one was the one that all other shekels had to be measured by. Like if it didn't weigh what that shekel weigh, it wasn't considered a shekel. You know, it had to match. So it's an exact weight amount. It is not like a coin value, like a quarter is 25 cents. That's not what a shekel is. Okay, so if you look up how much a shekel weighs, and then you go and figure out what the price for silver is per ounce or whatever, like you can figure out what the value of a woman is like today, and it's like a few $100. It's not much. I promise you. You will be highly disappointed to find out how cheap grapists got their wives for.
To quote the Blues Brothers, how much for the women, the little girls? Sorry, that's the
I still
creepiest thing I
can't
think I've ever said out
afford
loud.
it. That was pretty creepy, but it
Yeah.
was the Blues Brothers, and it was a quote. Okay. He was quoting the Blues Brothers. Don't be mad at him.
I'm gonna see myself out now. Take care now. I'll take
All
myself
right, bye,
out back.
Rab.
Yeah, no, I'm just,
We got a runner. No.
look at you, folks.
You
Look at
guys,
you.
if you are a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible, I still want to talk today about where is free will for women. Come on up. Or if you're friendly and you just got something on your mind, guest box is open. Feel free to come up. I will be live here for another hour and a half. So yeah, come on up and let's talk. I see a lot of friendly. I saw Lopes pop in. Lopes, if you want to come up, come on up. But I do want to talk about where is free will for women in the Bible. I am not seeing it, and now I realize I just never want to hear that argument again from a Christian that, well, we all have free will, because I don't. As a woman, according to the Bible, I don't. That doesn't exist for me. I understand why, silly goose. I really do. Hey, Smarty Pants, how are you today? Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. My goal is always 100,000. So if we can tap a little more, maybe we'll get there by the end of the show. You call it self-will because nothing is free. All right, I'm going to play another song for you while we have a minute here. Does anybody have a request this morning? Tahir, do you have a request? Tahir a lot of times has a specific request for my songs, and I do love that. I know, I'm not getting no free will. Do you consent? Okay, you got it. Let me find consent. Oh, here we go. All right. I am going to do some videos with this because there's been some really good ones that I could, maybe stitch and put this song in lately because there's a lot of people who don't know what consent is. Am I right?
C-O-N-S-E-N-T. Consent. It's not an option to me. Consent. Respect the boundaries. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. No praying. No praying. No touch, don't speak to me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T. Consent. You love your neighbor, but you better ask first. You pray on trauma with that holy thirst. You'll catch these hands if you lay hands on me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T. Hey, if you don't get a yes, you'll never have consent. I submit, bitch, don't get it. My body ain't a toy, dude, don't even play without consent. Keep your filthy hands away. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. No praying, no praying, don't touch, don't speak to me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T. My yes is my yes, my no is a no. Bitch, learn your scriptures. Learn your scriptures. If you know, you know. You quote the Bible. You quote the Bible when it benefits you. But fuck your book and fuck you too. Oh. You don't ask for consent cause your God never does. He just takes what he wants then calls it love. Chosen without asking, punished for doubt. This is what they preach that love is about. Your Jesus doesn't knock, he demands you comply. Deny yourself, follow me and don't ask why. Heaven full of godly men do tell them send me first class straight to heaven. Yes, my yes, my no is a no. Bitch, learn your scriptures. Learn your scriptures. If you know, you know. You quote the Bible when it benefits you. But my consent ain't subject to you. C-O-N-S-E-N-T. 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 No praying. No praying. No touch, don't speak to me without my fucking C-O-N-S-E-N-T. C-O-N-S-E-N-T.
The album is out everywhere you stream music. It is called Ex Parte. My artist's name is Crystaljae, and my recording company, you had to come up with a record company name, is Secular Praise Music. So check that out everywhere you stream music. That is Consent, and it is on the album Ex Parte. Hey, PRW, I don't know what to call you, so I'm going to call you PRW till you tell me, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes? I'm going to try to say your name. I don't know how to say your name. Pruz Jani? Can I get your age for TikTok purposes? Do you know you're up here? The artist is Crystaljae, just like that up there, Crystaljae. I wrote the lyrics, the music and the vocals are done by Suno, and I wrote the lyrics and the music prompts, but I didn't mute this, so I'll send them an invite to unmute. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tapping that screen, sharing out the live. I don't know how to say your name. PRWEZ, Janny. You're up on the live. I've sent you an invite to unmute. Welcome to the show. I just need your age for TikTok purposes. Maybe Parvez. Parvez? Do you know how to unmute? I'll send you the invite again. Oh, I have to wait 16 seconds.
Parvez Jani.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you, Parvez. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
उर्दू की मुझे समझ आती है. English what
I'm
English?
sorry?
English no English. समझ नहीं English.
Oh, you don't speak English? Oh, okay. What language do you speak?
Language Urdu.
Oh, okay.
Kurdish.
I'm sorry. Well,
It's
okay.
Kurdish.
I don't know if we could have the conversation if we don't speak the same language, but I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. If you are a believer of the God of the Bible and you're over 18 and you want to come up today and talk to me, or if you're friendly and you want to come up and talk about something, I'm open to that. The guest box is open. I want to talk today about where free will is for women in the Bible. I just do not see it. I'm so glad you found the album. It is I think it's a very good album. Okay. Like I really am proud of this little album that I wrote. My favorite song changes from time to time, but we'll play in a little bit. Abelina Ballerina. It has become one of the most popular songs I've written, which was really surprising to me because most of the songs are more R&B and other genres, and this one is bluegrass. So I didn't think that it was going to do as well because I thought, oh, people probably don't like bluegrass or something. I don't know, but it became very popular. So a lot of people like that one, and it really resonates with them. Free will in the bubble. What does that mean? Oh, free will in the Bible. Okay. Yeah, if you want to come up and talk, you want to say hi, you have a question maybe for the rabbi or for Mama Bash or myself, please feel free to request up. The guest box is open. I'm going to be live for about another hour, 20 minutes. I can play another song for you guys if you'd like. I'm just trying to not have dead air is really, really what I'm trying to not do. I don't like dead air. It makes me uncomfortable. I never even was in the radio industry or anything like that, but dead air is uncomfortable for me for some reason. Mary consents to bearing Jesus. The angel announces what God intends, but Mary responds with acceptance. But I'm saying free will for women. You're telling me about one woman. I'd like to know about women in general. Where is our free will in the Bible? We are told to submit to our fathers and then to our husbands. We are told that our vows don't even matter. Kitty cat out. All right, go on. Quickly. All right, let's go ahead and since we've had a few massages.
Miss me, now you gotta kiss me. You unwrap my sentence, call it just a thought. Say you love strong women till you get caught. You want a queen who keeps it light and sweet.
afraid to come up in this chat in the comments.
You quote some podcast, call it intellect, but all I see is you begging for respect. You rate our bodies, dismiss our brains, then cry not all men again. Miss me with your tone, miss me with your sigh, miss me with your sweetheart. Boy, bye, bye, bye. Miss me with that misogyny. Don't need your fake apology. Miss me, can't you see? I'm a star. You're just an extra, baby. Miss me with that misogyny. Misogyny.
The comments are just so funny because those are examples in the plural, meaning not simply for a woman, but for women. No, they weren't. Okay. And you haven't proven free will at all. Bye, Rabbi. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you Thursday for a non-believers Bible study. I'll start at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll try to starting earlier if I can. But giving examples of women making choices is not free will. Women didn't have agency in the Old Testament. We first belonged to our fathers and then to our husbands. We actually are told that our vows can be taken away from our husbands. That means we didn't have free will. You're giving examples where women made choices, not their overall stance in society at the time. They do not have free will. So if you're too chicken to come up and talk, maybe you need to be muted in chat, because I think that it's really, really weak that you sit down and argue up and have a conversation. So now you've been muted. The Bible says that you are to be ready to come up and defend your faith for anybody who requests it of you. I think you're weak. I think you're a lukewarm Christian, and I think you don't have a real argument. That's why you're just spouting off some AI nonsense in my chat. Do you want to have a conversation? Put a request in. Hi, Sunny. How are you this morning? My tolerance level for weak little misogynists is like this big today. I just don't have a very big tolerance level for them, Oh, do you? Okay, I got that. And I have it with Joel's reaction. So let's pay Joel's update dump day. Even though today is not Wednesday, we're still going to play it. You guys, here is Joel reacting live to my version of his hump day dump day song.
Crystal.
You guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here, big boy.
Me?
I've got some news.
What is it? It sounds like the season of reason.
Day of the week.
Sorry?
It's for the thirsty, not the me.
Okay.
Hump day, dump
Oh.
day, diddly diddly dump.
Okay.
Hump day.
I don't mind if I do.
Diddly diddly dump. Who needs the book?
I don't.
Just toss it out.
Okay, fair
Joe
enough.
came to cook. Believers best watch out.
I mean,
I say,
you're flattering me.
did I stutter?
No.
Smooth like butter.
Yes, your skin. I mean, you are, yes.
Hump day. Listen up. It's hump day, dump day,
Okay.
diddly diddly dump.
You already said that, but okay.
Tossing out the Bible like it's trash
It
from
is,
Sunday.
well, it is garbage. So.
Genesis to Revelation, yeah, I'm done playing dumb. Hey, memorizing verses.
What?
That's a vapid skill, babe.
That's true, my father.
Flipping through Leviticus, it's
because of all the blood. All the animals' blood all over the place. I got the home. Chris.
That is my favorite version of that song because I love his reaction so much. All right, you guys. Well, if you want to come up, say hi, ask me a question, want to talk about free will in the Bible and how it's non-existent for women, the guest box is open. Thank you so much for tapping the screen, but please don't stop tapping the screen. Make sure you share out the live. I know, right? That does sound like a little. I wanted it to be like a little sexy Las Vegas, lounge singer type feel to it. So yeah, Jessica Rabbit would really be perfect for that. While we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and play y'all another song. This is the title song from my album, Ex Parte. It's available where all your music is streaming. By the way, I will be on Mama Bash's show soon. We're going to check our calendars here. And she has a station head. If you don't know what that is, go download that app right now. If you are anywhere near your mic, Mama Bash, can you remind everybody your name on station head? I know it's a little different.
Yes, it's Yaya BB. It's YAYABEE and the letter B. Yaya BB on station head.
And you want to make sure.
And I'm going to be interviewing you really soon.
I'm really excited about that. And you're going to be interviewing Thinker's Daughter like this week, right?
Thinker's Daughter this Wednesday at 12 noon. I don't know. Are Wednesdays good days for you?
I'm going to be there. Usually I'm live, but I want to watch this because I missed your last ones. And I'm like, nope, I'm not missing this one. I do listen to them back. Did you know? Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you had a chance to go listen to them. Yes.
Yeah, I've been listening to them on my free time. I'm like, this is so cool. You can play it back later. I didn't know you could do that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to do
really
her
neat.
this Wednesday at 12.
And so what it is Mama Bash. Oh, I'm open any day. Sundays, I do Decon Q&A. So that's about the only day where I have a specific person booked. So my schedule isn't as open on Sundays, but whatever day works best for you.
Okay, right.
But if you guys, remember how on VH1 and stuff, they used to interview a musician and then play their music and talk about the songs they wrote? That's the vibe. And you get to listen to people in the deconstruction community, and listen to some great artists. Every time she does these shows, those artists also, they get all the streams for it too. So it really helps the artists out. And so check out Station Head, go download that app, and then make sure you're following Mama Bash over there, Yaya BB. So check that out. But I'm going to play for you right now the title song from my album, Ex Parte. This song is called Ex Parte, and an ex parte is when you have an emergency in a courtroom and it is one-sided. You're like, Judge, I need to tell you something about the other side. And in this, us women are getting a chance to, one, say that we are not responsible for the original sin. That was all a conspiracy by Adam and Yahweh, in my book anyway. And also, since we were never invited to the covenant out Mount Sinai, literally not allowed to be there at all, we're not beholden to that covenant. And so that means we're not beholden to the sin that came afterwards in the law. So here you go. This is Ex Parte.
I hope I'm not late to the party. I've got something to say, and I want every gentleman here to have a front row seat for this ex parte. Ex parte for the ladies. One side talks, one side stays mute. You carved your covenant in marble, but forgot the feet that swept the pews. We bore the sons that filled these seas, and you signed the pact without the wound, I believe. the blame had a woman's name. Two men sat in the shade of a tree. Adam and Yahweh right in history. They needed a scapegoat. They signed the brief. From that moment on, sin's name was Eve. Leave two men alone. It's always the same. If they can't find a woman, they'll make one to blame. This is my ex parte. My one woman plea. You created calamity and tried to frame me. You called it divine, but the terms were deceit. I stand unbound with chains at my feet. Oh, as I speak, no woman was hurt. Shekinah silenced, her fate secured. Let the judge and jury see. The law can't bind what we didn't concede. The contract is null as divine. May the record show no woman sign. We never needed a savior or lamb, because the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man. Oh, in the land of Egypt we lit the flame. Our mother's prayers, our songs unashamed. We worship the heavens, the stars, the seas. We knew the truth before their decrees. The sign of the man left us behind, abandoning women, blind leading the blind. We bore the children, we kept the fire. They stood on our backs as they climbed higher. Once our rituals were pure, hands in the earth, spirit sure. With Asherah raised, they gave us no choice. But no God, no man can silence the voice. May it please the court to hear my battle cry. We denounce the God, we denounce the lies. The pens were theirs, the scrolls they made. It is man's guilt and man that needs saved. Rise up now, behold the power. It's time they bow. Fine, I was never ours to share. Without the glory, there's no guilt to bear. Every woman today stands free. If sin is owned, man holds the deed. The contract is null as defined. May the record show no woman sign. We never needed a savior or lamb, because the truth is sin's name is man. Yes, sin's name is man. Yes, the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man. Yes, the truth is sin's name is man. Sin's name is man.
The songs are on my TikTok, Corpseman. No Kings, No Gods is on there. But if you DM me, I'll just send you a link to it, so it'll be easier for you to find, because it's probably back a little bit. But I did tell you guys that I would play Abelina Ballerina, and I forgot to do that. So let me do that real quick. You know, my songs do make people cry sometimes. I'm sorry. They're emotional because, you know, we were blamed for so much as women. And I don't know. I think that reclaiming things often, you know, it comes with raw emotions. This next song is because of Born Again Atheist. If you don't know who she is, you should go follow her. Born Again Atheist goes live almost every night, and she is out there doing the good thing, fighting Mogs. A Mog is a man of God. You know the kind. And she will often have men who come up to hit on her, and they do this really creepy thing, and they'll go, "What's your name?" And she will say, "Born Again Atheist." And go, "I know, but what's your real name? I don't want to call you that." And I just think, like, who does that? Nobody asks a man on this app what their real name is. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. And so she started telling them, "Abelina." And she says it's so funny. Like, I could not do it justice how she does it. She goes, "That's what my father called me." And I'm named after Abel in the Bible. And she does that to be like, as a defense mechanism, and I love it. But it made me think of how women from the time that we're very young are taught, before we even understand what sex is, that we are the problem. Little girls have to make sure to keep their skirt down, don't let it, and make sure it's long enough and cover up before they even know what any of that has to do with anything. They're told that they are the reason that men sin. Little girls are raped in churches every day all over the world. And then they are told that they are shameful and that they should be embarrassed and ashamed of what they did, while those men go on to continue to collect a paycheck, from the church, and praise, and are, allowed to reap their rewards. And so Abelina, I wanted to take that name and make it represent us women who grew up in these circumstances. But in the end, Abelina becomes like Boma, like Born Again Atheist became. She educates herself, and she, in the end, turns around and uses the Bible to destroy these men of God and their lies. And so that's what this song's about. Abelina Ballerina.
Abelina ballerina, spinning in her tutu. All the world's a stage, lacing up her ballet shoes. Abelina ballerina, they applaud as you dance. You're so precious, little angel. Dance away if you can. Abelina ballerina, wooden floor counting time. In the mirror she's a swan, arabesque in pink tights. Abelina ballerina, sitting still in a pew. Preacher says that light you feel doesn't really come from you. They tell her every step is borrowed, her plie heaven sent. And for every bow she's taken, she's got something to repent. Abelina ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy, so be a good little girl. Abelina ballerina, preacher says let us pray, closes the door so no one hears, calls it a special game. He says this is guidance, says she's holy, full of grace, claims God needs her silence, blessed are those that obey. Abelina ballerina, the light has left her eyes, she no longer hears the music and her steps are out of time. Abelina ballerina, remember how you twirled, who's to blame if they're not holy, you're still just a little girl. Abelina ballerina, stand still, don't twirl, it's your fault if they're not holy, so be a good little girl. Abelina ballerina, those aren't butterflies you feel, life grows heavy inside you, child, there's no way to conceal. They say her name like a warning, obedience her only crime, while he preaches purity, taking them for every dime. Abelina ballerina learns what judgment cost, learns who gets forgiven and who pays the loss. Abelina ballerina learns to mother through the ache, learns
learns that love can still be sacred even after what they take. She devours her education and her eyes begin to shine. Music pours out from within her and her steps fall back in time. She reads the words they cherry picked, preaches truth they try to hide. She interrogates the God, she uncovers every lie. She shows why nothing ever changes, who the system benefits. Men of God who feed on power, abuse, shame, and the grift. Hey, ballerina, ballerina, show me how you twirl, spinning in the sunlight, dancing with your little girl. Hey, ballerina, ballerina, dancing center stage again. Hey, ballerina, ballerina, dancing barefoot in the sun. You're so precious, little angel, and your dance has just begun.
So that's Abelina Ballerina. That one was a surprise to me, how well accepted it was. And I'm really glad you guys like it, because I think that it speaks for a lot of um, women in the church and girls in the church. If you want to come up, the guest box is open. Good morning, Benny. I think you popped in. I don't know if you're still here or not. If you're friendly or if you are a believer and you want to come up today, I'm talking about where is free will for women in the Bible. I just don't see it. Again, giving me some random example like that Mary had a choice about something doesn't really speak to the overall fact that women have no agency. And I don't believe people without agency. I don't believe slaves had free will. Like, I don't understand how we can say that everybody has free will and yet there were slaves. Like, that doesn't compute for me. I don't understand that. Good morning, Dugald. Or afternoon, I guess. It is afternoon now. I should stop saying good morning. It is afternoon, even where I live now at this point. Exactly. Coerced actions are not freely willed. They are not. And so I do not understand. I don't understand how people can say everybody has free will. Even if you think some people have free will, clearly not everybody does. I don't see any free will either, devil's public defender. But I was being a little bit of a devil's advocate today by just going, okay, let's pretend some people have free will for a minute, okay? For just a minute. Women sinned first, cause of Eve. I said, but she was tricked by a man. True. I don't see anybody in the whole garden having free will, because if Revelation is true and the Lamb was slain before the foundations of the earth, we needed every single thing to occur after that. Sin was a requirement for God's ultimate plan. There's no Jesus without it, right? No, that's the way I see it. I'm going to go ahead and play No Kings, No Gods for you guys. This is the first song I wrote. This was because I wanted to go out and protest No Kings. I wasn't able to, so I wrote a protest song instead. It made me realize that No Kings isn't good enough. I don't want any gods either. I think gods are the problem too. Any, system where there's one ultimate power is not a good system in my book. And so I started thinking about the Amalekites. I have some friends named Joel and Mezzo, I think are their names, and they go live and they do this story almost every time they go live about the Amalekites. And as I did a little research, I realized, the Amalekites are descendants of Amalek. Okay, that makes sense. Well, who is Amalek? Well, Amalek would be the descendant of Esau. And as we know, Esau was hated before he was born. And to me, it just seems like God hated Amalek just because he hated Esau, and therefore he hated the Amalekites. And therefore he ordered their destruction. And because of this, there are people to this day who believe that the people in Palestine are modern day Amalekites and that they should not be here anymore. And so that's why I wrote this song, No Kings, No Gods.
They said Jacob I love, but Esau I hated. Before he took his first breath, his fate was already fading. Born red, born wild, born free in the dust. But the prophets wrote him off, told us God couldn't trust. Oh yeah. From Esau came a Maleka named they curse. They painted whole people with the blood of the first generation after generation. That rage rolled on, turned stories into weapons and called the slaughter divine law. But let me tell you something they don't want you to see. That line they drew from me so runs straight to you and me. They use that curse like a brand, like a flag in the sand to call every rebel, every outcast, every child of the land. I'm elect. No kings, no gods. We won't kneel, we won't nod. No kings, no gods. Every child deserves the dawn. So they say, wipe them out. Remember, I'm sin, but they don't see the mirror that they're staring in. They call them cursed Palestinians, despised. But they fighting for breath while the prophets tell lies. These such children never sin being born. The bloodline ain't the crime is the scorn. They were never Amalek, they were human, they were whole. And it's time to break the spell they cast on their souls. Esau was hated for nothing he did. Amalek was punished for something he was. And Palestine bears the same damn cross for the sins of the story, not the truth in love. So say it with me now. No kings, no gods. No kings, no kings, no gods. Palestine is not Amalek. Children are not Amalek. And so in Amalek they never did you wrong. The curse was a lie and we're breaking it in song. No kings, no gods. Just the people and the dawn.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. If you are a friendly or a believer, you can come up. I just want to talk today about what you think about free will and women in the Bible. Even if we granted that some people were given free will in the Bible, I just do not see where women are given free will. I don't believe that slaves were given free will. I don't believe anybody who has no agency has free will, and women had no agency in the Bible, and therefore I don't believe that women have free will. I have had a few people today bring up examples of certain women that they believe had free will, but really what they're showing me is that those women had some choices they were allowed to make, but overall free will, I'm just not seeing it. So if you have some opinions about this, whether you're a believer or not, feel free to come up. I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are on this. Meanwhile, I'm just playing some of my songs because I can't stand dead air. So we're just listening to some of my music this morning. I do have two albums out now. One is called A Seat at the Table. It is about 12-minute long triptych. It means that it's three separate songs that tell one cohesive story. It has three acts, Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. And it's about how the tables you sit at say a lot more about who you are than maybe you realize, and that it's very important that we think about the tables that we sit at, the company we keep. If you can check that out, I think it's really important during the times we live in right now. I'll say this again in case you didn't hear me earlier this morning. Fuck ICE. That's where I stand. Okay, I don't sit at tables with Nazis, and I find MAGA and ICE and all of their ilk to be a bunch of fucking fascists, and I don't sit at their tables. But go check that out. I think it's a really poignant album for the things that we're going through in our country right now and through the world. My other album is called Ex Parte, and it features several songs in my deconstruction journey. The next song I'm going to play for you is based on a gospel type song that I grew up with. It was called For Those Tears I Died, but many people used to call it Come to the Water because that phrase is repeated many times. Oh, thank you, Katie. You're welcome to come up if you want. It's Come to the Water was a song that I loved as a Christian, and I loved it so much that when my sister was killed by a drunk driver when I was a child, I asked them to sing this at her funeral, and they did. And now that I am deconstructed, it made me sad that I didn't enjoy the song anymore. Like, it didn't have the same meaning to me anymore. So I wrote a song in response to this song, and I used the same kind of stanza that it used in the original song. So actually, if I wanted to, I could sing these lyrics to the original song if I wanted to, but I didn't use the original melody when I did this one on Suno. I used a little bit different, melody and different vocals, but this is called Water's Edge.
You said, come, child, lay down your sorrows. You said you would be there through all my tomorrows. So I came believing you dry all my tears, but you left me waiting alone with my fears. When will you draw near? I came to the water, I knelt by your side. I gave you my everything, relinquished my pride. I cried every teardrop, then looked to the sky. But I found myself sinking in the flood of your light. They said your love was too deep to measure, that losing myself would make me your treasure. I gave up my voice, my identity and name, and called it devotion, but it
so I kind of cut that one short. Hey, Nick, how are you today?
Crystal, my love, I am. Yep. It's good to see your face again. Welcome back.
It's good to see you.
And Mama
Thank
Bash,
you.
it's really good to see you too. She might be away from the phone.
Yeah.
Here,
Hey,
thank you so
thank you,
much.
Ash.
I'm here. Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
I'm going to invite one of my friends up, but he never comes up, so I don't know if but I saw Joel pop in. Hey, Joel. Good to see you. Joel, if you're still listening, because sometimes you're just scrolling by, I know. But Mama Bash wants to have you on her station head show. I need to DM you later to let you know that she's been trying to reach out to you.
Where is free will for women in the Bible? Please hold 5 to 7 business years where I will try and find that for you.
Nick, I wish you had been here earlier. I haven't really had any Christians come up because the first 2 believers I had, one was a Christian and one was a Jewish man, supposedly. I'm not sure because he really acted like a Christian. He talked like he was Jewish by saying words like Hashem and stuff like that, but his attitude was very Christian. So I'm not really sure. I'm going to play it back and find out his name, and we can see if he really is a Jewish man or a Christian. But anyway, they crashed out at this. Let me read you what they crashed out about, okay? This really crashed them out bad. They said that free will, we do, JJ, we need more deconstruction music, and I coined the term secular praise, and we need more secular praise. Yeah, check out LG Gray. She's amazing too. Also, make sure you listen to Joel Reed's Bible. Thinker has an album out everywhere you stream music too, called Recovered Files. Dang it. I'm going to forget it. But anyway, look up Thinker. She has 2 albums out, actually, and they're both amazing.
And Skeptical Sandra,
anyway, this is
too.
where... Oh, Skeptical Sandra. Oh, my gosh. You're right, because I love hers. Oh, my gosh. Skeptical Sandra. There's so many. Oh, and if you like rap, go check out Black Atheist Rants. Oh, my God. So good, too. Really good. So there are really great musicians out there making songs for us. So check them all out. And stream them when you can. That helps them. And then it makes them want to write more music. So, okay, this is the crash out part, okay? They said that I could find free will for women in the Bible when God made man and women in his image. And I said, yeah, but women don't have it because of Numbers 30 verses 10 through 15. And if she made a vow in her husband's house or bound herself by a pledge with an oath, and her husband heard it and said nothing to her, and did not express disapproval to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she bound herself shall stand. But if her husband nullifies them at the time that he hears them, then whatever proceeds out of her lips concerning her vows or concerning her pledge of herself shall not stand. Her husband has nullified them, and the Lord will forgive her. Any vow or any binding oath to deny thyself, her husband may allow to stand, or her husband may nullify. But if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, then he validates all her vows or all her pledges by which she has obligated. He has validated them because he has said nothing to her at the time that he heard them. But if he nullifies them sometime after he has heard of them, then he shall bear her guilt. Actually, I guess there's another section I had highlighted. Let me go back a little bit further. In verse 3, it says, when a woman makes a vow to the Lord, this is very important. She is vowing to God, okay? Or binds herself by a pledge while within her father's house. So this is even before she ever gets married, okay? In her youth, and her father hears of her vow or her pledge by which she has bound herself and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, and any pledge by which she has bound herself shall... shall stand. But if her father expresses disapproval to her at the time that he hears of it, no vow of hers and no pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her because her father had expressed to her his disapproval. So she can't even make a vow to God without her husband or her father being able to control that vow.
Yeah, but she had the free will to not make the vow in the first place, Crystal. Like, come on.
Nick, I will boot your ass. Do you I am not playing with you, sir.
I'm not playing today. I'm not playing today.
No, but the guy, like, I really have to clip the guy who was, he went like, he was like, but read that verse or whatever, go. And I said, which verse? And he was like, he was like, Numbers 30. And I go, yeah, but Numbers 31. What are you talking about? Numbers 30. And he goes, I just said Numbers 30. And I'm like, sir, do you know how many, like, there's 16 verses. Which one are you talking about? And then he told me that he won, and then he left.
You should have thrown Numbers 31 right back at him after.
I guess. I'm like, what are you talking about? You haven't shown me anywhere in there that you won. What are you talking about?
Oof.
But then it was a Jewish man that came up, and he didn't want me to read it. And so he kept talking over me, telling me, I know what it says, every time I tried to read it. And I was like, okay, but this isn't your show, and I want to read it. I know what it says. And I was like, finally, I just dropped him. I was like, dude, like, I don't know why. Well, I do know why you don't want me to read this, because let's face it, I would prove you wrong if I read this verse.
What was his name?
It's something like the Jewish something. Does anybody remember what his name was? It was the Jewish something. I'm going to have to go look it up. Or the one true Jewish something. I don't know.
Interesting.
It sounded, chosen. The one, chosen Jewish. I don't know. It had Jewish in it. I remember that, or something like that. So, oh man, I don't remember Tahir. I'm going to have to do my playback and see what his name was. But yeah, he got really upset too. He was like, "Rah." Hey, can you do a commercial for me real quick? And I can go get a beverage.
Absolutely. All right, everyone, if we could get to double tap.
And
tapping that screen, sharing it out to at least 5 friends or more into your Discords. If you're like me and you have no friends, or all right, everyone, you have no friends or you have no Discords, you can hit that copy link button at least 5 times. And you have no friends also help boost the algorithm, as well as we have that nifty little repost button now. So if you are watching and you hit the repost button, it's going to show up on the FYPs of your friends. So make sure you hit that repost button too. And that it is only 1 coin. And everyone, don't forget to hit that hurt me button after and claim your points, because claiming your points does help boost the algorithm as well. Our Crystal, that hurt me button after. Crystaljae currently has a gift goal sitting, it looks like a 2026 party hat sitting at 0 out of 30. If you have some spare coins, send them to your Witcher. And as always, just keep tapping and sharing, because that's what boosts us the most.
Okay,
You are
let's
good to go.
see. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, Holy Ghosted is in the request.
Oh, okay, cool. I love Katie.
Not
Hey,
anymore.
Katie, how are you today?
Pretty good. Just waiting for my train. So, a few minutes.
So what do you think about the free will in the Bible for women?
Well, I don't think anybody has free will in the Bible.
I don't either. I honestly don't, but I thought definitely women don't, for sure.
Oh, definitely,
even
definitely
if-
women don't. But I don't think, like, with a all-knowing God or with, predestination, that there's any way possible any of us have free will. I don't even think outside of a deity we really have free will. We work in a causal relationship with the world, right? I do something and it can affect somebody else down the road. So
Yeah, I agree.
I was
I
typing up before you
think
brought
that,
me up. Great job, Nick, on the commercial.
Oh,
Just want to get that in
thank
there.
you. Thank you. I'm here all week, available for hire from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's Sundays off for the Lord, of course, though.
Of course.
of course,
But
well,
you were saying,
I go
Crystal,
to
sorry.
Ass on Sundays. So, does anybody else attend Atheist Sunday School with Mezzo? Because that's what I do on Sundays, and then Decon Q&A with Crystaljae. So that's what I do on Sundays. So I'm still here.
Sometimes, depending on what else I'm doing. But I also want to say, I second
No,
Nick, and it's good to see you, Crystal. You've been missed.
well, thank you. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. It was really fun seeing my grandkids and my son and daughter-in-law. But I'm excited because starting today, I'm going to start recording my auntie sermons, and I will be putting them out in podcast format soon. So I'm going to start recording them. And I think that what I'm going to eventually do is record. I don't think today I'll be doing this because I need to get the first one in the can, as they say, and edited and stuff to make sure I understand how I want it the final product to sound and stuff. But once I have it down, I will probably be recording them live on YouTube, and probably live here too. Similar to what Joel does when he reads the Bible chapters, and then I'll go and edit them into a podcast format after I record them. But I'm excited about that because I've had a very positive response to the anti-sermons. So
Anti-sermons have been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I'm working on Zilpa right now, and I'm stuck because there was this way I wanted to take it, and now I'm not sure if I like it. But I do that a lot when I'm writing, where I second guess myself a lot on it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm also trying to write a new song because I was talking to Mama Bash yesterday, and I was telling her how I went on Facebook this week. I don't go on Facebook because that's where all my right-wing Christian family and friends are. So I'm never on there. I use it still for Facebook Marketplace because you can get good deals. Okay. And I was a reseller for like 30 years. So I like good deals. I still like to look for them. But I started thinking I might want to start posting over there since TikTok is, owned by our regime now. And I was like, maybe I do want to start using it. Maybe I should prepare that Facebook group of people over there for who I am. So I made a couple of posts that basically said, if you don't like me, block me. And so Mama Bash said that you need to make that into a song. So I've been working on that, Mama Bash. It's basically called Block Me. And I'm working on that right now.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was such a good idea. I'm so glad you told me that. But I haven't figured, I know kind of what I wanted to say, obviously, because I told you what my posts say, and I'm going to use those posts to be my post basically said that, I don't fuck with ICE and I don't fuck with Trump. And if you don't like that, then block me. I don't sit at tables with Nazis. You can go ahead and block me. And then my other post said that basically I'm an atheist and I'm a feminist. If you don't like that, you can block me. And so that's basically what the song is going to say too.
Wish more people would block me, then I wouldn't have to see their faces around. Because it sucks because when you block someone, you can still see them on other people's lives. It's like, why can't that just be a blank box? Like, why we gotta see them?
Yeah, I don't want to see them. All right, I'm gonna play Act 2 for you from A Seat at the Table. This A Seat at the Table is a triptych I wrote. It's an EP that's available everywhere you stream music right now under the artist Crystaljae, Jae. And Act Two was something that actually happened with me within our community, and it became a big, huge thing about a year ago. Okay, thank you, Katie. You guys make sure you're following Katie. Katie is amazing. I love it when she's able to come up and join me when I'm having these conversations with Christians and stuff, because she always has such a wonderful input for our conversations. All right, Mama Bash, make sure you guys follow Mama Bash. Mama Bash and I will be doing her Station Head show pretty soon, so go download the app and follow Yaya BB over on Station Head, and you'll get to hear us talk about my music live on her show. Hey, Redeemed. But Act Two was a real thing, happened within this community, and so this is Act Two of A Seat at the Table.
A seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? I watch a room dressed up as calm, soft light, familiar charm, easy jokes and easy laughs, no uniforms, no arms. A seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? She's there, your friend, the gentle one, the kind you trust in most. She never shouts, she never sneers, she never leaves a toast. But listen close. They laugh about pronouns like it's clever wit, roll eyes, call it play. They say trans bodies are the threat, bathrooms where monsters stay. They say think of the children, they say safety first. They say it's soft enough to make the violence worse. Your friend says nothing, she smiles, she stays. She lets it pass as humor and lets the lie replay. She doesn't say she agrees, she doesn't say she won't, but she keeps pulling up a chair where dignity is a joke. A seat at the table. Who sits, who stays, who looks away? I watch you notice what that costs, the silence dressed as grace. I watch you feel the table tilt and recognize the space. So you stand not to debate your humanity, not to translate your pain. You don't sit where lives are treated as a topic to explain. You don't perform your boundaries, you don't beg them to see. You leave the chair untouched and refuse their cruelty. And hear me now, because this still remains when laughter shields their cruelty. It shares in all the blame. I saw you refuse the table, then I saw you choose the line. You didn't raise your voice, you moved your feet, and that is how you don't align. A seat at the table. Who sits? Who stays? Who looks away? Don't stop here. This isn't the only rule. Another table waits ahead, and its truth will come too soon.
I will play the final act for you guys right now, since we. Thank you, KJ. Born again atheist. If you want, come on up here. You guys, the guest box is open. Anybody can come up. I want to talk about where is free will for women in the Bible. But while we're waiting, I'm just playing my music. I'm going to go ahead and play Act 3 for you now of A Seat at the Table. It's an EP. It's a triptych, meaning 3 separate pieces of art that are meant to be put together cohesively. And Act 3 is about me figuring out my seat at the table. I might cry. Just this song gets to me, and I wrote it.
Let it out.
Yeah, a seat at the table. Who sits, who stays, who looks away? I see you hesitate now, not from fear but doubt. You lower your eyes at steady rooms, afraid to pull a chair out. You'd sit with scholars, poets, minds who shape the world with care, and still you ask yourself at night if you were meant to be there. A seat at the table. Who sits, who stays, who looks away? You think of all the rooms you left, the chairs you would not take, and wonder if refusal cost more than it could make. But listen, those tables you refused to sit at did not close the door. They cleared the way for truer rooms, for something stronger, more. You don't stumble into better company. You don't inherit grace. You earn your seat by what you refuse, by where you will not place your body, voice, your quiet yes, where cruelty is bad. Empathy recognizes empathy. Depth calls out to depth. That's how these tables find their own. Not by name, but by breath. A seat at the table. Who sits, who stays, who looks away? You thought refusal left you smaller, like you'd lose if you walked away. But every chair you would not take is why you're standing here today. You didn't climb on broken backs, you didn't laugh and look aside. You didn't make a home in rooms where other people had to hide. So don't rise, don't move, don't make it neat. I didn't come to test your worth, I came because you learned the truth. Where you sit is who you serve. I have been called by many names before, cut in clay and stone, in love and war, in dust and stars. I've never stood alone. The names don't matter at this table. Now not crown, not claim, not fame. What matters is the cost you paid every time you wouldn't play their game. So I sit with you now, not above, not apart, not because you asked, but because you earned your place. My heart, I am a Queen of heaven, yes, but tonight I do not reign, I stay. Because wisdom doesn't hover high, a wait to be enabled. Wisdom knows when truth is earned its place and pulls up this glass. At your table. A seat at the table.
That is Act 3 of A Seat at the Table, and that EP is available everywhere you stream music under the artist is Crystaljae, Jae. Thanks for putting up with listening to my music today, because we had 2 crash out men and then nobody wanted to come up and talk. They were not ready to hear me say that women don't have free will and then actually have a sound argument for it. It was very upsetting to them that I had Bible verses ready. The one
Yeah,
guy was
they
so
always
funny.
think that we're gonna go off of quotation mark church hurt. They never think we actually have
Yeah.
Bible verses to back up the shit we say when it comes to the treatment of women in the Bible, and it's so hilarious.
Yeah, the one guy goes, well, you have, free will from God in Genesis, where he gives, men and women are created after him, or what, whatever, in his image. And so I said, oh, I want to talk about Numbers, 30, 10 through 15 or whatever. And he said, oh, but that's the Old Testament. So's Genesis. Like, what? What are you talking about? It was just it was very weak this morning. I'm just going to put it out there. If you all have any communications with Yahweh, could you ask him to send a little bit better caliber my way? I've been waiting for a decent conversation for a while now. And all I get is men that crash out because they do not like it that a woman knows more than them.
See, and it's funny because every time I try to talk to Yahweh, somehow Rabbi Hannah appears. And it's almost like he's saying, now go talk to her. I don't know with your shit, go talk to her. And it's like, okay. It's
hilarious.
like, she's going to talk shit too, right? Right? Okay, fine.
Right. That's amazing. Hey, Shadow, good to see you. Lathe, good to see you. I will be wrapping up the show in about 15 minutes. If you guys have any song requests, I can play them again. I think I played them all now, though, to be honest with you. Otherwise, if you want to come up and say hi, the guest box is open. If you have a question, feel free to ask it. We're just hanging out for about 15 more minutes. Unless we magically reach the gift goal, then I'll stay another hour. That's always up to you guys. Yeah, that was a weird one for me because I didn't realize Jesus wasn't a good guy until after I deconstructed. I talked about this a little bit with Zach Laser Hoffman. I like to say his whole name, Zach Laser Hoffman. This week, that when I first deconstructed, I was like, oh, I don't want to take anybody's faith from them because, like, it's not harming anyone. That was my thought. Okay, it's not harming anyone, and if I'm wrong, like I would never want to be the reason that somebody ends up going to hell or losing their relationship with God and all this stuff. But that changed when people started pointing out to me, what the fuck do you mean that Jesus was a good guy? No, he wasn't. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? No, he wasn't. Like, what? Like, didn't he like heal people and stuff? And they were like, yeah, when he wanted to, he chose, he was picking and choosing who he wanted to heal. And he was, a racist to a woman. I'm like, wait, what? And then when they read the story to you after you've deconstructed and you go, I always knew that Jesus called that woman a dog. And even when I first heard it, I thought, why did Jesus do that? Like, I didn't know it was a racial slur, but I knew that I'd never liked it, that he had called her a dog. I never liked it. I never understood why he had to degrade her. I never understood why an all-loving God would degrade anybody. Why he couldn't just do it. Because I'm not an all-loving God, and I wouldn't treat somebody like that.
Boma put another one into perspective, like something I hadn't thought about of this story, but the woman at the well, when Jesus was basically calling her the big H, and it wasn't until that she I knew it was horrendous and heinous what he did. Like, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, that was a dickhole move, but
I didn't really get that either. It was one time listening to one of you guys that I was like, oh my God, he totally degrades her too. What is wrong with me? He has to point out how horrible she is first, right?
Yeah, and then she put it into perspective. During that time, for someone to call a woman out like that publicly, he totally put her life in danger. And I'm like, oh shit, that never occurred to me. Because, yeah, he did. They could have heard what Jesus was saying to her, basically calling her the big H, and been like, oh no, we have to stone her now. Right? And that
Yeah,
just never occurred to me for some
yeah, it's
silly
true.
reason. And I was like, oh, damn. So, like, he did her double dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. So it wasn't until after I deconstructed that shadow, I even looked at Jesus like that. I just thought, and then it was somebody who had to point out to me that when Jesus turned the tables, I think they say synagogue, which didn't exist. I can't remember. Don't they use synagogue in that story? Don't they say that?
I
It's not
think it
like a
was
synagogue. It's a
the
temple.
temple.
Maybe it is a temple. Okay. Because I know that sometimes they accidentally say synagogue. Okay. Yeah. When he turns the table at the temple, that he literally was doing that to people who were following the law. They were supposed to be money changers there so that people could have access to the proper sacrifices. And so there had to be money changers there. They were literally following Levitical law. So when he did that, they weren't doing anything against the law. They were actually following the law. And that's not what you're taught. As a Christian, you are not taught that. You were taught that they were like doing something like mega churches do, where they grift. But they weren't. They were just following Levitical law.
Well, and isn't it Shadow? I could be wrong. I think it's Shadow's argument for that one. In one breath, he says, turn the other cheek, and in the next breath, he's flipping tables and whipping people. Like, what?
That's crazy. I didn't think about that. That is crazy. Imagine like a bake sale table of offerings. Yeah, exactly. So I never saw Jesus in this light until I started joining this community. I mean, I've told it a million times before that Justin said he hasn't fulfilled one prophecy, and I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? Because this was after I deconstructed. I thought, well, surely the reason I believed, I had some good reasons, right? And then to figure out you didn't have any good reasons to believe, I felt so duped. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh my God, I'm the biggest schmuck. How did I believe all these stories when none of it, like no, he wasn't a good man, and no, he didn't fulfill prophecy, and no, we don't know who wrote Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. No, Moses was probably not real. No, even Jewish people don't believe that the earth was flooded. What the fuck was I believing? Well, thank you, KJ. Like, turn the other cheek, but I gotta flip these people. The turn the other cheek thing is very interesting because let's see, he says very specifically what hand it is and what cheek it is. Let me find that first, because I've read something very interesting about this, and I've tried to find it, and because people used to say Gandhi said it, but I don't think it was Gandhi who said it, because I can't find any sources for that. But hang on. Can you give me the verse where Jesus says, turn the other cheek? I want the full verse, please. He says, but I say to you, do not resist an evildoer, but if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other also. So let's talk about it. If most people are right-handed, okay, and they strike you on the right cheek, hey, born again, how do they have to hit you? They have to backhand you. They have to backhand you in order to hit you on the cheek, on the right cheek. Because how am I going to hit you on the right cheek with my right hand without backhanding? It's going to be very awkward for me to go like that. So I'm going to backhand you. And back in the Bronze Ages, in order to like duel somebody, you took a glove and you would slap them across the cheek. And people attributed this to Gandhi. I can't find where he actually said this, but whoever did say this said they didn't feel that Jesus was telling them, here's my other cheek, like like you can't hurt me and I'm not going to hurt you back. He is saying, they're like, go ahead, hit me again and see what happens. That it was more of like, let's duel, bitches. It's like, it wasn't a peaceful protest. It was more like, come at me, bro. And so, I don't know. I think Jesus is saying, tell him to come at you. See what happens. But you can't hit somebody on the right cheek if you're right-handed with the front of your hand. So you are backhanding them. That's one thing I do know this verse is saying.
Yeah, and then it becomes a fuck around and find out moment.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I've said a lot because I've had a lot of men want to, I don't know, fight me for some stupid reason because, yeah, big scary men. Anyways, but I've always told them the same damn thing. When you hit me, you better hope that I'm down for the count because when I get up, you're a goner. So make it count.
Yeah.
I had a 6 foot, 300-pound oil filled driller who taught me how to, if it's one thing he taught me as a kid, it was how to take a hit and get back up. So make it count because I'll get back up.
I think that I'm one of those people that it depends on the situation of whether I'm going to fight or flight, or whatever. Okay. Like I'm very strategical in everything I do, but trust me, just because I don't fight you right then doesn't mean that you've seen the end of me. There's just, just be ready. Just be ready. But when it came down to it between me and my first husband and he tried to take me out, I was the one who got arrested. So that should tell you something.
I'd smile on my mugshot. See, the problem with me is
I was drugged. He had put something in my drink. That's all I know. But I don't remember my mugshot. I have no memory of it. But then the next day they told me why I was arrested and not him was because I took a chunk out of him.
I had a girl. My biggest problem is my flight button broke. So, I'm stuck on fight mode all the time. And the bigger the guy, the worse it's going to be. Because it's like, yep, bet.
Hey, Shadow. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hey, I'm going to step outside real quick and I'll be right up.
Okay. Yeah, I will, flee sometimes, but just be ready for my comeback. Just be ready.
Okay, so I've been doing some research, and if this is like, pivoting or anything, just like,
No, go ahead.
correct me. But a couple of things. I have been doing research on the age of Mary. And according to my research, I found the Proto-Evangelium of James, which is the Gospel of James in the 2nd century. Some church fathers like Origen and another one that I have somewhere in my notes.
I think I know who it is because
Clement?
I never can say his name. Okay, no, not Clement. There's one that's like something. I never can say his name. It's like starts CH or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so this would be coming from the several sources like newadvent.com that have the translated versions of the Proto-Evangelium of James, which is basically proto-Gospel of James, right? These are early 1st and 2nd century church writings, primarily in the Proto-Evangelium of Jesus in the 2nd century. The apocryphal text is the main source for early traditions stating Mary was temple raised. If you read it, like, there's this whole like husband choosing ceremony for Joseph and Mary in it, which is pretty interesting. And in verse 8 or paragraph 8 of this Proto-Evangelium, it says, "Behold, Mary has reached the age of 12 years in the temple of the Lord," and then she's shortly like given over to her husband Joseph. I need to dive deeper into the writings of Origen and Clement, but they kind of get their writings, they're basing their writings off of the Proto-Evangelium of James. So when they're like referring to any kind of age of Mary, that's where their source is. That's what they're referring to. This is like 2nd and 3rd century. Later on, interestingly, in like the 15th and 16th century, then it becomes, oh, she was 16 and then 18. So it's really interesting to see throughout history this sort of like amendments of her age as we evolve, I guess, as a society. So
Yeah, that's very interesting.
that's just what I've been noticing. But yeah, the very early writings do confirm that, yeah, she was between 12 and 16.
That's horrible.
And I find it like Christians want to stand on this like house of cards, this like, how can I put it, this false ego or whatever, this false morality that, hey, like we're not like Muhammad, who had Aisha, who was 9, right?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
Mary, who was 12, so that makes us so much more moral over here. And I'm like, I don't
Right.
want either.
Me neither. And if you think that's the only problem with the shit in your Bible, you're so wrong. Like, we could talk about how Lot tried to pawn his daughters off to be raped by an entire town. We could talk about the concubine who was thrown outside to be raped, and then her body cut into 12 pieces and shipped out to the tribes of Israel. Shut the fuck up, okay? You treat women horribly in this Bible, and little girls were kidnapped off a stage for an entire tribe. What are you talking about? It's disgusting, Ty. Here, it's disgusting.
Yeah. And you know, these early church fathers like Origen and Clement, you know, they're not giving any like pushback on her age either. They're just kind of like, yep, that's, you know, I don't know. It just seems like this big like church secret that no one's talking about. I mean, within the church. I mean, like this is like why we're in the deconstruction community. Like, hey, this exists. Let's spread awareness about this. Like, just so everyone knows. Let's put all our cards out on the table here, right?
But Shadow, back then everybody got married. All the women got married at a young age because the lifespans were so short. Crystal's gonna block me out today, I swear.
Oh my goodness. I mean, let me put it this way. I think, yeah, I don't know. Just
Let me tell you, that's fine. Okay, in a worldview where we are secular, where things happen due to evolution and so forth, that all makes perfect sense. We would be stupid and think that makes sense, right? But in a world where you tell me you have an all-knowing, all-loving God, it does not make sense to me that at no point did he tell people this was wrong.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. I see like an evolution in morality like throughout history, you know.
Yes.
When
Which
I'm
makes
personally Yeah. When I'm personally confronted with like these like hypothetical past moral quandaries, like, oh, what would I have done, or who knows, right? It's just really kind of like beyond an answer from me. But I will say that there's instances where you know people push back on social and societal norms, and they do the right thing despite the popular vote. So I don't know, right? I can't say because it's such
You
a
know,
hypothetical.
I think to a degree we can, though. I used to think we couldn't until we started living in the here and now. And I see what you and I stand for right now. I think we're already showing people what we would have done in the past. What would I have done in Nazi Germany? The same fucking thing I'm doing in Nazi America.
Exactly.
Same
Yeah,
fucking thing I'm doing.
100%.
I
And
would be
so
very cautious letting that profile up. It's a picture of a white teen woman, looks like a Karen, but the profile looks completely different to the profile picture. So I'm saying caution because last night Boma got taken down because some dude turned his camera on to his private parts, and she ended up getting taken down. She had to appeal it. We all had to go over to her second account. And the poor woman got a flag there too for something hilarious she had said in the first live on that account. She won the appeal, but yeah, like just this random dude
that
came
is
up,
sexual
flipped on his
assault,
camera,
like basically. What
right?
the fuck, man?
And then
Oh my
TikTok has the
God.
audacity to blame her for it, like typical
That is
victim blaming.
crazy.
But yeah, that profile might be a YT woman, but the actual profile itself has all videos of something else. So it's or someone else. Sorry. So I just be really
Well, they're not in
cautious
the
bringing
guest
that one
box
out.
anymore. But it's time to end the show anyway, so they'll have to come back tomorrow. I did want to tell you guys, I have invited Russell. I don't know if he'll show up. I've asked him to come this week because I heard him recently on Threel's show, and he's really questioning a lot of things. And I've asked him to come and have a conversation with me where we don't, we do question for question. He can ask me a question, I'll answer it, and then I'll ask him a question, and we can go from there. I don't know if he'll show up, but I have invited him. But if you are a Christian and you want to come and join my show and do a Q for Q, I'd be happy to do that with you. But I am going to end it for the day, go get myself some lunch. I will have an anti-sermon for you tomorrow. It is on Zilpa. She is a slave that becomes
I love
a
your
wife
anti-sermons.
for...
Yes.
Thank you. And she is elevated to wife status for breeding purposes only. And we're going to talk about her tomorrow. So join me tomorrow right here. I'm going to try so hard to be ready at 10 a.m. Hopefully George will sleep better tonight now that he knows that I'm back and I'm not leaving. He was being very dramatic last night, and it was very hard to sleep. So I will see you guys. Is there somebody to raid? Is Trust But Verify or somebody live that we can go raid?
I'm actually not sure who's alive.
Let me see if I have any live announcements over on the...
Oh, Sarah Sharp?
Oh, let's go raid Sarah then. I love Sarah. So it's a pink and blue shark. And go check out Sarah if you're not following her. Check out a pink and blue shark. I love you guys. Go tell Sarah.
No, he's saying that a 3-year-old can't take a jug, but I'm trying to remember, and if I'm not mistaken, the one who took the jug was actually Rachel. It wasn't Rebecca. So what are we talking about?
It is Rebecca.